Hey, everybody, it's the Coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thanks, Coach. Originally opened in 1995 as Jacksonville Municipal Stadium when this franchise entered the NFL. We welcome you to Jacksonville and TIAA Bank Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They're losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. As you get a peek at a man who entered the league in 2012 as a third-round draft pick, Nick Foles.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Fournette on the counter. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. Here's Foles. And that will be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first.
Here comes the pressure, and the Browns block it. And they are going to take possession of the football. Special teams putting a mark on this game early. Opening drive, block punt.
And for one team, it's a good mark. And for the other, not so good. And this is why special teams coaches are like designated hitters to me. They don't get very many opportunities. They need to maximize when it comes their way. And as we just said, one of them did.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. Mayfield to throw it. That is going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith. A run for Nick Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're...
It got his man complete. Oh, breaks another. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 54 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. A pass there complete to Westbrook. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A check on the numbers for Westbrook in last week's game. 8 catches, 85 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
That's a good job there, creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Browns offense trotting back onto the field, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. Mayfield off the play fake. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. This is caught inside the 15. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal,
defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big run by the big man Fournette. 43 yards on the ground. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Leonard Fournette. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. D.D. Westbrook. His first touchdown on the year as his guys are back within a single score. And, man, Charles, talking about singing something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Browns to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Mayfield. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a second down coming up. They go with Chubb on second down. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long. They go play action. Mayfield. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. And they're indeed going. It's Mayfield. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Play fake. Mayfield. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand. And
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Josh Allen. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. From the 35 on second down, Foles.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Foles, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joe Schobert with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Now he'll go deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will finally be taken down up at the 48. It's a big play there for the Browns. 41 yards. And he completes it to Hunt. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. DJ Chark hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now Foles. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he's got this down to the 35. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. To throw again on second down. Foles. He completes it to Westbrook. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. D.D. Westbrook with his second touchdown here in this first half, as his guys are back within a single score. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
5 plays there on that drive. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 79 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown, and pick it off, just as we saw this.
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. A big play there just before halftime. 51 yards. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Back to throw here. Try to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Seibert on for the PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Time remaining for likely one final play. You're on your side of the field, but, heck, maybe you throw one up 50-plus yards, see what happens.
Don't forget that taking the knee is the right play to make because you just get out of there, you regroup, you start over. But if you're going to take the shot, you do have a chance of either making the play happen or picking up a deep pass interference call. And remember, it's the NFL. You get yardage. It's not just a 15-yard play. You could have something big here. Let's see if they take the shot.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made to fix. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland. 51 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. To throw, Mayfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt, and able to work his way down to the 16. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars 16. Mayfield on play action. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. DJ Chark with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that will extend this big lead. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield. They're going to look to throw. The open man is Westbrook. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. Looking deep downfield. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about this.
Odell Beckham Jr. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 88 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. The electric OBJ, the short reception, and then he did the rest of the work himself.
You know, there's a thing that the players always talk about, the coaches in the league, they call it play speed. Because, you know, we had that time speed when we're running the 40s at the combine and, you know, at pro days and all of that. But play speed is different. And OBJ's play speed is some of the best in the league. In other words, when he has the ball in his hands or he's running a route, he runs it just a little bit harder than most people, and oftentimes you come up wrong on your angles trying to tackle it.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They're going to try the jet sweep. Robinson with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play. And
here comes the pressure, and the Browns block it. And a big play there, and they will wind up taking possession in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 17. Well, put that block on top of the nice lead that they have, and now it's trouble here in the 3rd quarter on the other sideline.
Well, I think it's more than trouble. They're just trying to figure out how to survive through this ball game now. They're about to really lay it down on them.
And they can just run some clock, get this thing to the 4th quarter, try to put it on cruise control. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley, and the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll look to throw. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. On the draw, this is Fournette. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down.
Check the out, check the out, check the out.
Check.
They'll drop the throw. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. Where he stands right now, as you see, already over 1,000. You have to think 2,000 is a real possibility. Long way to go in the season, but what he's done so far, spectacular. It is, and you know what he's also hoping for? I don't know what was going on there, but the end result, this is going to be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan. Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere. But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further. And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go? I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. And nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 40, the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Leonard Fournette, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jags are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house. Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
You ready?
Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach. It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here. It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel. Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Back now in Jacksonville. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield? I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Alert, 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 alert. 44, Mike.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the night, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And now he's at that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
No, she's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Here's Foles. And that's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense is going to be a real tough one for them. Offense,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Here's Logan Cook now. And he's had all kinds of problems just getting punts off so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken around the 12. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Mayfield hands to Chubb on the draw. Oh, Chubb fumbled it. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at a quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. He's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double and triple. Do what you have to do.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They begin this drive with Chubb. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. They run again on first down, Chubb. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Mayfield on first down. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Big time drive. Let's go, boy.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. He finds his target, Beckham. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
First and goal, Cleveland.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll set up to throw. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. And he is just one reception away from 10 in this game. I don't know what they need to do defensively, but something has to be altered, does it not?
I know that whenever we tried to cover a person who's having a game like this, you're trying to vary what you're doing, trying to change things up, hoping to fool him occasionally. If not fool him, fool the quarterback so maybe he doesn't read the coverage correctly. Right now, though, they're in pretty good sync.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down. They'll run for it. Chubb. He'll have a first down past the 40.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. But go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ball game. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Let's go, team.
Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. It's caught inside the 25. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cleveland, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they will head back home